Hello my friends and welcome back to the rabbit hole. Listen, today's video is indeed going to be whatever you saw in the thumbnail, whatever you saw in the title, that's what we have to talk about today. And trust me, it's not something that I want to do. I have all kinds of fun things to share with you, but it's burdening me to make this video. And let me start off this video by making sure you know this is not a type of video that I enjoy doing. This is not a drama channel. In fact, I've really gained a lot of respect for commentary channels. I've realized just how mentally taxing making those types of videos really is. It's difficult. I can't imagine, for example, I can't imagine what it was like for D'Angelo Wallace when he hit the publish button or schedule button on, his Shane Dawson video, for example. It's difficult. It takes a lot out of you. Plus, also, I feel making this type of video begs the question of, well, why'd you cover that topic and not other topics? So I want to make sure we're all on the same page before I get into today's video. What I'm going to be talking about today is basically drama in the skincare news. No, that Freudian slip is exactly what I mean. It's actually skincare news, but it's news on failures of accurate labeling, failures of transparency, and just general sketchy nonsense that goes on or has been going on in the behind the scenes of the skincare world. And since I talk so much about skincare, and in fact, since I highly recommended one of the brands we're going to be discussing today, I felt that I really need to make this video. Any video like this has to have a disclaimer, so all of my opinions in this video are merely my own opinions. I will have some links in the description box below to what I'm referring to. I encourage you to click through those links and form your own opinion. I have so many more fun things that I would like to do on my birthday than do this video, but here we are. Let's go ahead and get into talking about this. Part 1. Krave Beauty and the Beat the Sun Sunscreen. I'm going to go ahead and assume for this video that you do know the backstory with the Purito sunscreen. In case you don't, there are plenty of videos on the topic. I have a video on the topic as well, but I think most of you know about this. So, enter Krave Beauty, who also carried a Korean-made sunscreen. Now, in the midst of the Purito scandal, I do recall Krave insisting that their sunscreen was fine based on the testing results, but of course the problem with this is that the manufacturer of that Purito sunscreen, as well as Keep Cool and I think quite a few other brands, had inaccurate testing results, which is why this third-party testing is what was really sealing the deal for these sunscreens. However, good on Krave Beauty for deciding to go ahead and do some independent lab testing of their sunscreen to make sure that it was the labeled SPF, and guess what happened? On April 12th, Krave Beauty announced that unfortunately, their sunscreen did not meet the testing standards and will be discontinued from the market. I have both a statement on their website as well as a video from the founder of Krave Beauty, who is, of course, Leah Yu. So I want to make sure I say I do acknowledge that Krave Beauty has taken responsibility for this. They are also offering refunds, although for a limited time frame and for a limited number of purchases. But nonetheless, they are offering refunds. However, there are a few quirks to this that people aren't especially fond of. I'm not going to read you the full statement. Again, it is linked in the description box below, but I am going to tell you that they say on here, in summary, the original test result was SPF 55.3, but extensive testing since then has shown that the formula performed below our standards. Unfortunately, due to legal and privacy constraints, we're not able to release our exact results or testing documentation to the public. We know this is not the news you were hoping to hear, and believe us when we say we are disappointed too. We should have taken the extra step to test independently and verify our results before launching this product so that we could have caught the issue earlier. The response to this has been pretty mixed overall. I think some people are going to continue to support Krave, no problem. They understand they're a smaller company, all of that. But some people have been really quite upset that they're not disclosing that SPF percentage. And the reason is because in Leah's video, she does go on to say that she's going to continue continue to use the sunscreen. She's going to tell her friends and family that she believes it is safe for them to use as well, and yet she's leaving it pretty open-ended for interpretation. Is it really a safe SPF level or not? I don't even know if I liked my own wording just then, because what is a safe SPF level? I mean, if you buy an SPF of 50, it should be at least an SPF of 50, not an SPF of 49 or 48. But again, she did do the right thing of pulling it from the market. I think what I haven't seen a lot of people talk about, and what I really do want to talk about, even though I admit this is something I'm nervous about putting into my own video, I feel like the language around the beach shield specifically, and whether it offered sun protection or not, was a little bit tricky. And so for this, I'm going to link you a Wayback Machine snapshot of their blog post from a while back. It's since deleted, in which they... It kind of feels like to me, and again, this is my opinion, it feels to me that the initial language around the beach shield was a bit wink wink, nudge nudge. It's a sunscreen, tell your friends. It's a secret speakeasy, but we don't want to change the formula to reflect US standards, nor go through the testing required to sell a sunscreen in the US. So instead it's a sunscreen. Just my opinion, read it for yourself, please. Since this whole situation has brought up all of those old feelings that we all had about Purito and all the other sunscreens, it seems that people are also asking other manufacturers, and I think something that was really interesting is I saw a post on Reddit specifically about the CosRx sunscreen. Apparently somebody on the subreddit Our Asian Beauty sent an email to CosRx and asked about their SPF 50, and they replied back that it was more around the SPF 38 mark. So two things with this. I do appreciate that, according to this person, CosRx was very transparent in their answer, even if it doesn't live up to the label's claims. However, this makes me wonder, then why is it that Leah isn't able to actually tell what the sunscreen is of the beach shield? And even with this CosRx situation, finding out it's an SPF of 38 instead of 50, that's really not a terrible level. But again, it's not what's on the label. Yeah, it absolutely is giving you over 97% of protection against those UV rays. However, again, it's not the label. It kind of feels to me like if I was a vegetarian and I ordered a veggie burger and then the server brought out a regular burger and I said, hey, this is beef, it's not a veggie burger. And the server said to me, well, it is really close. I mean, it'll certainly give you nutrition, it'll certainly fill you up, it's going to have a very similar taste, in fact. But it's not the veggie burger that I ordered, right? Part 3. I hope you all understand that this is not just Asian sunscreens. I've seen a lot of conversations around this and how, people won't be buying Korean sunscreens anymore, which I do understand based on how many of these Korean-made sunscreens have turned out to be less than their advertised sun protection. However, this is not unique to Korea. I'm actually really surprised I haven't seen more discussion around this, but apparently in December of 2020, Consumer NZ New Zealand tested 10 sunscreens and 5 of them did not meet the SPF claims. That is a 50% failure rate. 50% of the sunscreens that were tested out of New Zealand did not live up to their label. And so you all know this is truly not something that is new. There has been testing on sunscreens over the years that is found multiple times in which these sunscreens have claimed a higher SPF level than third-party testing has shown they actually have. Now, so far, everything in this video has been about products that I have not personally used, that I have not personally recommended, just simply because of my allergy to chemical filters. Instead, I'm over here slathering my skin in White Cast mineral sunscreen. You've all seen it. But unfortunately, we must move on to part 4, which is about the brand Herbivore. I love Herbivore. I've recommended Herbivore many times on this channel. I put them into the excellent category when I was re-ranking my skincare brands, and Thank you to No BS Beauty for coming out with a video about Herbivore's bakuchiol, because it turns out that Herbivore's new bakuchiol doesn't contain bakuchiol. Basically, bakuchiol is this ingredient that is supposedly an alternative to retinol, right? We've seen a few studies, quite a few studies actually at this point, that have compared bakuchiol directly to retinol and seen very promising results. But you need to understand what bakuchiol is. Bakuchiol is a compound in a specific plant, kind of like when we talked about ginseng, how ginseng has ginsenosides. It's similar to that. This is a compound within a plant. And when a compound within a plant is discovered, it can actually be patented, whereas you cannot patent the entire plant, which I object to as a researcher myself. I definitely think that's a problem and it limits our research. But when this happened with bakuchiol, there was a company that patented the bakuchiol. Now, if you all remember, there's something very strange that happened with Herbivore. So Herbivore had this bakuchiol serum that they advertised as a 1% bakuchiol. I do believe that that product did have the 1% bakuchiol as the patented ingredient from the supplier Syntheon. And yeah, it was a very successful product. I loved it. Many other people loved it. And it was a complete mystery to so many of us that this product was pulled from the market. You all remember this? It just disappeared. So get ready for this. This manufacturer, Syntheon, did some testing on popular bakuchiol products on the market, including the Herbivore bakuchiol, and they found that the water-based Herbivore bakuchiol serum contained only 2.27 parts per million, in spite of claiming to be 1%. Now, when I heard this, I immediately went over to the Sephora website and I looked up the Herbivore bakuchiol serum. Because for a moment in my own head, I was thinking Herbivore is a very natural company. I can actually see why they might not use a patented ingredient, even though it is of all natural origins. Doesn't make a ton of sense, but I thought, let's go ahead and see what the description on the Sephora website says. And here's what it says. A naturally derived retinol alternative to seal in hydration and smooth the look of fine lines and wrinkles. Highlighted ingredients, bobchi extract, contains bakuchiol, which visibly smooths fine lines and wrinkles. If you look at just that, wait, hold on. If you look at just that, that's actually fine. That is not deceiving the customer entirely, even though I do object to them still having the same name as the old product, as it seems to me, because I remember the old ingredients list containing bakuchiol, it seems to me that they quietly reformulated this product, not just pulled it from the market and then brought it back. But there's more. Remember when I talked about the Wayback Machine earlier in this video? Well, I started thinking, let's use the heck out of the Wayback Machine. Let's see if this is just a cover your butt type of system here for Herbivore. And in fact, earlier this year, instead of saying bobchi, it said bakuchiol. Visibly smooths fine lines and wrinkles. So I see this as all really frustrating. I want to take a moment here to apologize for ever recommending Herbivore. Had I known this, I never would have recommended the brand, but you know, this is a very tricky situation. I think for anybody that creates content, anybody that does reviews, you know, there's just so much that could be going on behind the scenes. We are depending on these companies to not just be transparent, but to be honest about what they're being transparent about, and also in a lot of cases here, to do third-party testing. To realize through the Wayback Machine that Sephora went and changed the description to reflect this Syntheon news, that is so disappointing to me in both the aspect of Herbivore themselves and also Sephora. I'm trying so hard on this channel to not hate on Sephora. I've bought enough in the VIB sale, you'd think I love them with my entire heart. But let me tell you, I am very disappointed to see this. And then I did some further digging because I had a comment recently on my Rare Beauty Foundation review, a very hated video that I put out a while ago, in which I said I don't agree with Sephora's description that stated that product was for all skin types, because my dry skin did not do well with that foundation until I put oil on first. We got a real interesting comment just in the past week where somebody said it doesn't say that on the Sephora website. So I went to the Sephora website and sure enough, It only says it's for normal, combination, and oily skin. Once again, I went to the Wayback Machine, and this foundation has not been around long enough to have been reformulated. It originally said for all skin types, and now it does not say for dry skin. This is the first time I am directly affected because I had not purchased the new Herbivore Bakuchiol to see if its formula was any different in effects, but I did buy this darn foundation, and to be honest with you, I'm a little angry about it. I still have this foundation in my collection. I did not return it, even though I don't love it. And now I feel if you realized after the fact that it doesn't work out on dry skin and you took that out of your description, let me take it back to the store because I'm over it. I'm over that foundation. Y'all should have figured this out before you sold it to me with the description clearly stating it was for dry skin. And no, there are no refunds being offered for this one. Y'all, that's 5, right? That's 5 scandals in one video today. 5 scandals. Okay, so what do we do about all this? I was alluding to this earlier, but it feels like transparency is no longer enough. It's no longer good enough to actually come out and say, we have a 1% bakuchiol, or say, we have a 0.5% retinol. Instead, at this point, with everything that I've seen in lab testing failing, I think it's time to see some of that lab data. I think it's time to do some independent testing, some third-party testing, and do what the CBD companies do. So I use the brand Jupiter for my CBD, and one of the reasons I chose them, actually the main reason I chose them, is because they're incredibly transparent, and every bottle that you purchase will come with a batch code. You can type the batch code into the website and you can read the entire lab report on that specific batch. The reason they do this, as well as a few other CBD companies for the record, but the reason these companies do this is because there can be variability from batch to batch. That is a lot, and to be honest with you, it'll probably drive prices up. But at this point, I don't know what else to tell you. Aside from what I've been saying on this channel for years, which is, don't ever just trust anyone's reviews. Not mine, not any of the other skincare influencers, because the most important thing for you in your skincare products is that you are seeing results, that the products are working out for you, that they are doing what they claim to do, as you can see. But to just be completely honest with you, I'm really heartbroken to find out all of this. Like I've said many times, this isn't the video I wanted to make today. But it's important, you all need to know that some of these products are just not coming back as the label suggests, as they advertise their products. There's some nonsense that's been going on behind the scenes. So that's it. I feel like drama type of videos are difficult to end because you don't want to just say, oh, I hope you enjoyed this, because did you enjoy this? I don't think it's really fun. It's just something that you should probably know. But I will say thank you for watching, and also please do make sure that you share this news. I think quite a few of these companies, especially Herbivore, seem to be deleting comments off of Instagram discussing this, or at least that's what I've heard, allegedly. So, I think that we may have to kind of do some word of mouth about this situation. It's sad, I'm really disappointed, and, it's sad to me to have had such a good experience with the company and to now say, I will not be supporting this company anymore. You will no longer see any Herbivore products on this channel, in spite of the fact that I just got some in PR. You will not be seeing that on this channel, and I hope all of these other sunscreen manufacturers figure out how to actually achieve the levels of SPF that they put on the packaging. Thank you all so much for watching. Apologies if this was a bit of a disheveled video today. We will be back to regular content on Friday, though hopefully as long as nothing absolutely absurd breaks in the skincare community. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.